But we'll move on to Blue Velvet then. 30-year-old.
30 years.
How old you've become, how much you've grown.
Yeah.
Yes, this is David Lynch. Blue Velvet, re-released in cinemas to celebrate its birthday.
Happy birthday.
I hadn't seen it before this week.
And you watched it.
And I watched it.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I've just been wasting my entire life. Why didn't I see it sooner?
Yeah.
For those who haven't seen it, Joe, can you attempt to explain it?
Well, infamous film that has been divisive from critics for Roger Ebert, who gave it 0 out of 5, from Mark Kermode, who he infamously said walked out, hated it, but then he watched it again and loves it and now thinks it's a masterpiece.
Somebody punched him in the face because he didn't like it.
Well, yeah, that's how divisive it can be. So basically the plot of the film is Kyle MacLachlan. Is it MacLachlan?
MacLachlan. Yeah.
Kyle MacLachlan.
MacLachlan.
Kyle.
Right, Kyle plays a college student who has moved out of his town. He's came back ever since his dad has had I think it's a heart attack. Yeah. And basically the plot starts him seeing his dad, comes back to his old sunny town, which of course during the set and being David Lynch we can't tell if it's the 1950s, we can't tell if it's the 80s. There's a mixture of that kind of decorum and clothes and music and just basically Americana. When you think David Lynch, you think these films are very American. You couldn't put them anywhere else. Small town America. He finds a severed ear in a field covered in ants, and then this kind of delves him into a journey into the underworld of a town, which on its surface is very sunny, very nice, very high, a happy nuclear family, but underneath is anything but, as judged by Dennis Hopper's character. And so that's basically the plot of the film, because it leads him into this mystery with Isabella Rossellini's character, who is a showgirl singer for a vicious, horrible gangster, and one of the most terrifying performances ever by Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
And it's a mixture of that and him sneaking into her apartment and watching her and blah 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 blah. And it's very David Lynch. Yeah, probably the most plot driven out of all of his films, I think. When you compare it to A Race Ahead or Mulholland Drive or I don't know, like what's the other one with Nick Cage, Wild at Heart.
Yes. Yeah.
But me personally, I've always loved this film ever since I was a kid watching it. I'm not sure I've been watching it. I think even now I'm still absolutely mesmerised by the candy coloured clown sequence, which I have no idea why. It just does. With a lot of David Lynch's films, you just kind of, it just does. You can't physically or mentally explain it.
Nope.
I love Blue Velvet.
It's a weird one.
It's a very strange one.
It's a weird one.
Yeah.
I'll definitely need to watch it again. As with all of Lynch's films, I've left it just feeling completely like, what? I think the first one I saw was Mulholland Drive, and that's not a good place to start, is it? Because it is just such a head battering. Eraserhead, equally very hypnotic and very peculiar. Then you get Blue Velvet, which is very, as you say, very plot driven.
Compared to each other's, I mean, I think David Lynch is, of all filmmakers, probably one of the greatest who's ever got the sense of the uncanny. Something that feels, it's normal, but there's something off.
Yeah,
there's always something off, and I think this one does have a lot of moments of that. But it's all just kind of mixed into, like I said, the Americana, the weirdness, and the kind of downright strange at times. But yeah, probably he's most plot driven and straightforward. Even though it's not really,
but something very special.
Yeah,
Dennis Hopper,
probably one of the most terrifying performances ever.
In an age that we live in now, where so many films get criticised for having bad villains.
Yeah, over the top or like people who are trying too hard. Well, for me, no, this one, Dennis Hopper's performance is genuinely. It's very frightening.
It's very natural.
Yeah,
it's very composed, and it's the whole gas mask thing that he has.
That is. Yeah,
he has this little mask that he huffs into, and it gets him excited.
And then pretty much after he does that, obviously the first scene's infamous where he starts, saying "mommy, mommy," and it's just, you just like internally just that's off, that's wrong.
But I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a strange one.
It's a strange one, but I did sort of fall in love with it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think as with all the ones I've seen so far from him, it'll definitely warrant a rewatch.
It's probably the most blatant in terms of metaphors with lightness and darkness and but it's straight away it's got the infamous opening with all happy nice 1950s America, but then the dad has the heart attack and the camera starts going underneath, and you see underneath all the pretty roses and all the pretty grass is just bugs and
then
and then you actually get that in the film, and it's a phenomenal film.
So it's been in Tyneside this week for re-release. I hope you did get a chance to go see it. It's also on Blu-ray, I imagine, as well. Of course it is.
Of course it is, yeah.
So do pick it up because it's fun.